In today's video, me and my friend are Jujutsu Sorcerers in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe. We have to survive 100 days and we have 3 objectives. First, power up as sorcerers by exorcising cursed spirits and then collecting their cursed energy. Second, collect Sukuna fingers and eat them to power up and become stronger. And third, collect enough curse power to face off against special grade villains like Jogo, Hanami, Dagon and Mahito. Will we make it? Will we survive? Tune in to find out. On day 1, I spawned in some random field with my friend and then we started breaking down a tree. And running ahead, we saw our first evil spirit. This guy was huge and he created a massive explosion that pushed me back. I fought him with all of my spells, giving me a chance to test them out for the first time. And it turns out this guy Hanami Kento was hunting down evil spirits and we helped him defeat one. And running ahead, I heard a loud noise and a big cursed spirit appeared. It was actually my friend activating his ability, and this turned out to be his guardian. He's so cool. I got out my wooden pickaxe and got some coal from a mountain nearby. And going into a deeper cave, I crafted a few torches and also found some iron. These demons are pretty powerful, so getting some iron armor is really important. But after I was done with mining, I got out of the cave and started running. Until we came across another cursed spirit, and as it hit me, I learned a new physical ability, but it started doing so much damage I had to back off. Luckily, my friend stepped in and defeated the spirit with his guardian. My sensei is really strong. I continued exploring until we came across a few sheeps. We planned to sleep over the night, as more strong curses came out at night and we aren't powerful enough yet to fight them. We found a good spot to camp out, so my friend placed a campfire and we laid out the camping backpacks. It also started raining, but on the next day I packed my backpack and we went exploring. There was a bunch of mobs I fought, but because of defeating 2 cursed spirits already, I had a lot more health than normal, and had some pretty good abilities I learned as well. I then came across a witch's hut, and beside it I saw another cursed spirit. This was a level 4, so I didn't have any problems taking it down. After all, our objective was to defeat a bunch of special grade spirits that teamed up with Mahito, the strongest villain, and also gather Sukuna fingers on our way there. And then a group of snakes attacked me. I used my jutsu techniques to battle them, and then in the end they also dropped some weird black orb. I gave my friend one and we ate them. I learned the skill Centipede from it, so I guess random mobs that you defeat have a chance to make you learn some new ability. But running some more, I came across a group of pigs, and food is important. I also collected a bunch of wood because we wanted to quickly build a safety hub. I then saw a wolf. I didn't have any bones to tame it, so I just fed a few pork chops to it. And then on a nice and open field, we decided to build our base. It'd be a small but cozy little house for us to just sleep and store all of our items. I destroyed 2 trees that were a little too close by it, and then it was time to get to building. The build took some time, as while I was working my friend was out gathering materials. I went with a pretty open design with a lot of windows and stuff like that, and it would be a nice 1 floor, so nothing too fancy, just a nice starter base. And once I was nearly done with finishing the roof, the house was all complete. It looked awesome and it was a really good location as well. And now with the house out of the way, we can now focus on hunting down the evil spirits, gathering Sukuna fingers and leveling up our grade as Jujutsu Sorcerers. I made a lot of chests and placed them around the base, placed my backpack and laid out the bed, and now we were complete with the base. And going outside, we noticed a pretty big white dragon. Its name was Rainbow Dragon, but for some reason it was totally white. We decided to fight it. As it turns out, there were a lot of them beside our base now. My friend used one of his Jujutsu techniques, which summoned a black circle. His abilities were really awesome, but he was already a grade 1 sorcerer. And as I brought it down using my explosion ability, I got upgraded to a rank 3 Jujutsu Sorcerer. This meant I had new abilities unlocked, which was really awesome. But before that, this dragon also dropped a black circle. I guess it's his power, and when I drank 3 of them, I gained a new skill called Rainbow Dragon. We also noticed a few small snails beside our base. They were just going about their day. We came up to another dragon as there were a bunch of them close by, and my friend said to watch him use his ability he just learned called Domain Expansion. He ran up to the dragon and created a massive black circle. He could already use that ability and I'd learn it in the future too, but nevertheless this was really awesome. As I fought the dragon, another one came up from behind me, and luckily my friend used an ability that pulled the 2 dragons into a black circle, so I got away. But fighting these guys, they were really difficult as there was 2 of them. I had no idea why they decided to appear right beside our base, but defeating them would allow me to level up my techniques. So it's a good level grind for me. And when I brought one of them down, I got promoted to a semi-grade 2 sorcerer. And watching closely, I noticed that the dragon dropped a blood manipulation rod. Equipping it, I got 2 new abilities I could now use. There was a cursed spirit close by, so I went up to it to test it out, and the new ability allowed me to shoot red lines of what I guess is blood into the target, causing it to explode, which was just awesome. The curse knocked me away so far and a pack of centipedes also started attacking me, but luckily my friend with the help of his guardian managed to put it down. It also dropped some of its what I guess power, and when I drank it, I learned the skill I Cursed Spirit. Going deeper into the forest, we also saw some kind of new cursed spirit. These guys were smaller, but my friend used one of his new abilities, and he aimed a red dot at the enemy and shot a massive powerful punch at them. Defeating these cursed spirits, I also increased my curse power to 550 and got 2 more rows of hearts already. And as it became nighttime, we finally got back to the base. We spent a few days hunting different cursed spirits around the base and also upgrading our skills. We slept over the night, and on a brand new day, I finished sorting the chests in our base and went outside where my friends started building a nether portal. There are some cursed spirits which can only be found in the nether, and also before going up against any strong bosses, we need to get better gear. Otherwise, we'll just be a one-shot for the strong bosses. As we got ready to step into the portal, we got transported into the nether, and since we were far away from my base, my friend showed me one of his new skills. He loaded and fired 2 round circles of jutsu in a straight line, and absolutely destroyed everything in his line of sight, leaving a massive crater. He used it to make us a straight pathway so we could traverse the nether a lot easier. His powers are insanely strong, and I wish I can become like him in the future. And then I got to mining all the random ore I saw. We wanted to get the netherite reinforced with prismatine armor, which was the strongest in the game, so for that we need nether ingots. So, exploring a lot, we came across a ruined structure. I mined through it to get to the center and see what it had in store, and inside there were 3 levers, which when I pressed just randomly spawned piglins. I don't know how to break this code or whatever, but I saw that deeper inside there was a tripwire and an arrow dispenser. My only problem is when they shot arrows at me, they hardly did any damage, as I had 2 rows of hearts. It really is paying off that we granted to get me to a 2nd grade sorcerer rank. I took the arrows from all the dispensers because I can use them for a trap of my own later. I then opened up the chest to see a bunch of gold ingots, blocks, and even a few netherite ingots. This is exactly what I came here for, but we need to loot a lot more places like this if we wanted to get enough netherite ingots for our armor. But running out the temple, I then saw another pig farm. It was surrounded by lava, and it had a lot of piglets inside, but I still jumped off and looted the chests. It had some weapons, arrows, golden boots, and even netherite ingots. And because me opening up the chest aggroed a lot of piglins here, I quickly jumped off and then came to my friend Gojo. He used one of his abilities to completely wipe this tower in one move. And that move caught the attention of the stronger cursed spirits around here. He came out of nowhere and started attacking me with his explosive spells, so I had to fight back. And then with one move, he threw me into the lava. Luckily, I had a lot of hearts, so I could get away from the lava easy. But I had no more food, so my friend had to drop me some of his, as I needed to regain my health fast. I was on 2.5 hearts before eating to regen my health, so this was really necessary if we wanted to win the fight. And the crazy thing was, this was just a normal cursed spirit user in the nether. It wasn't even a special grade. This just shows that I'm so far away from becoming a pro Jujutsu sorcerer. Luckily, with a special Jujutsu technique, my friend pushed it far into the lava pool. There it could not follow us anymore, and eventually it had to disappear. Still, that was a close call. We had to be careful from now on with the nether cursed spirits, as they are on a totally different beast level. But exploring some more, I decided to get this glowstone, as I wanted a lot better lighting for our base back in the other world. Glowstone is a lot better than torches, so grabbing it here saves a lot of time in the future. But then we came across another cursed spirit. This guy was just like the one from before, which was super strong and nearly killed me. We still didn't have the good armor we were hoping to get, so fighting this guy was a dangerous move. But luckily I used one of my Jujutsu techniques and actually blasted him off the cliff into the lava. This ability I have turns out to be really useful in the nether world. But it turns out he wasn't dead yet, so to finish him off I used my blood manipulation jutsu to hit him, but after many attempts he still didn't die, so my friend took out his favorite technique, which finished the job easily. And then he also learned how to use one of his sword techniques to glide in the air. His sword was a lot better than my spear, but I still had more abilities than him. But mining a lot more, it was time to get back to the portal. We explored the nether enough and got a lot of netherite ingots, and we also defeated a lot of really strong cursed spirits, so I got my Jujutsu sorcerer ranked up. But as it was nighttime already, we decided to go to sleep and then on the next day get our next ingredient for the most overpowered armor. So traveling a lot, I came across a pack of centipedes again. These are becoming more and more common, I think, and they also dropped some cursed energy. But then from behind me, some weird guy runs up and starts attacking me. This is Jogo, one of the subordinates of Mahito. He starts attacking me out of nowhere and he's really hard. I get dropped to low health nearly instantly, and this battle is really dangerous as he's one of the stronger cursed spirits, and we still haven't gotten better armor to survive encounters like this. I fire a few blood manipulation techniques at him and then run away while my friend uses his jutsu ball technique to keep him in his place instead of chasing me. And then after a few more hits, we finally beat him. I get an achievement Fame 4, and he also drops another blood manipulation technique. Because I already have one, I decided to give it to my friend. It adds 2 new abilities, so it's really useful, especially the long range attack where you shoot a red line into the target. And running some more, we see another level 5 cursed spirit. This one is really strong, just like before, but because we don't have anyone on our side to help us, like before with that random NPC who happened to be fighting him as well, this time we'll be on our own in this battle. But with my final swing, he explodes and disappears easily. And he actually drops a Sukuna finger. This is crazy as all the cursed spirits have a chance to drop them, but I figured they'd all be already collected by more stronger curses. We got really lucky with this, so I decided to grab and eat it, because that's what you should do when you see a dead finger on the ground. Don't think I'm weird, guys, it's just how the anime goes. The more fingers I eat, the more power-ups I get. And I got a bunch of new skills unlocked with it. A skill Cleave Attack, Malevolent Shrine, and a Fire Jutsu, and a skill Dismantle Technique. But the most important one was the Sukuna Finger 1 counter. This was my first finger. It meant I had a part of Sukuna inside of me now, and I needed to find the rest of the fingers before Mahito and his group of special raid curses could find me, as they want to revive Sukuna and attain his powers. I tried to use one of my new abilities on the random dragon nearby, and I create a massive fireball explosion. My friend said it knocked him back like 20 blocks when I used it. And then we saw an Hanami beside our base. This guy was the one we held before defeat one of the curses. But because I ate one of the Sukuna fingers, he saw me as a curse now, and he started attacking me. I didn't want to kill my fellow Jujutsu Sorcerers, so I decided to run away until he stopped chasing me. And this took a long time. By the time I got away, it was night time, and it was so hard because that guy runs as fast as me. Everyone runs super fast when they become sorcerers. But I found a cave to wait out the night, and as I didn't want to run into any mega strong curses on my way back, especially since I'm alone without my partner, I decided to sleep the night. But getting back to the base, I saw my friend use a new weapon on one of the remodeled humans. The remodeled humans meant there were subjects of Mahito's cruel experiments, and it also meant he was getting closer to us. But my friend gave me a new weapon he found, which was a special grade, and he called it Playful Cloud. It did an insane 21 attack damage, so it was really strong. And then I got attacked by a centipede group again, but when I defeated it, I somehow unlocked the skill Domain Expansion. This was insane as it's the most powerful skill in the game, but for me to use it, I need to learn how to use Simple Domain, and to do that, I need to find a specific Jujutsu Sorcerer and talk to him or her. But then running to another cursed spirit user, I see that he uses a domain expansion to block me. Luckily, I managed to be just out of his domain's range and get away. And after bringing him down, I train a lot until I increase my cursed spirit power and even learn a new set of abilities. They're really awesome as I get to throw large rocks of some sort into my targets now, and I can also spawn guardians to fight for me, except these white humans aren't as cool as my friend's cursed guardian. But then I use one of my other special attacks and I don't see anyone, but the blocks start getting destroyed with a large noise in the background. It seems really powerful. And getting back to the base, it looks like it took some damage from that attack as well, but I didn't notice that the most damage was in the front of the building. The whole building's face just got destroyed. We will need to fix it, but before that we need to go mining ASAP. We got a lot stronger now, and there's no doubt that special great spirits are already trying to track us down, so we need to get better gear fast. Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that little thing? What? It's so cute. It's like a little frog here. I'm not gonna kill it beside the base. I'm not gonna kill it beside the base. Oh, you nearly killed him. He's so cute. He does 0 damage, dude. He's dead. My friend thinks of a genius way to start mining and shoots one of his techniques into the ground, creating a nice tunnel down. But it's not deep enough, so I ask him to do it again, but with the second shot he digs a hole so deep it reaches bedrock. This skill is so useful, I wish I could use it as well. But I started mining for whatever blocks I could see. And it didn't take me long to find my first diamonds on bedrock level. I spent a few days mining for more diamonds. And then back at the base I got to crafting the diamond armor. After that I had a full diamond set, but that was not enough and no way the strongest armor in the game. We have all the ingredients to make even better armor. And I did that by mixing 4 gold ingots with 1 netherite ingot and creating a golderite ingot. Fusing it with my diamond armor using a smithing table would give me the strongest armor in the game. And now we were ready to go in and defeat all the special great curses and collect all the Sukuna fingers back. My friend also got some special armor done, and then we headed off to find our first special grade curse. And after a few days of travel, we finally found our first target, Jogo. He had a lot of health and his abilities were extra strong. He had one special move where he'd call a giant blazing meteorite and it'd come crashing into the ground where his enemies were while he was standing on the top of it, which was super awesome, but also really deadly, so we had to be super careful. And he wasn't only really fast, but also really strong. He was taking away my hearts like I didn't even have the strongest armor in the game. And I'd hate to think how we could battle him if we were still wearing our Sorcerers uniform. But as he's nearby, I push him away with an explosion technique, and then use one of my Death Rock abilities I learned while leveling up my skills. It does a lot of damage. But then with a final hit, I defeated him. He was a tough foe and it took our combined effort to bring him down. But in the end, he dropped his set of abilities, a couple of Sukuna fingers and also his own head. His head was like a trophy, I guess. We can take it back to the base and hang somewhere, but the best thing was his abilities. He had a normal one where you just explode something, a pretty cool one where you throw a bunch of flames, but then the coolest one was the meteorite, where I literally sat on the top of a giant blazing rock and watched it crash into the ground, creating a giant explosion underneath. This is by far the coolest ability in the game in my opinion, but my friend also has a few cool ones. If, hypothetically, me and my friend battled right now, I still think he'd win, even though I have such cool abilities now. It was time for me to also eat the 3 Sukuna fingers. My friend also used my own shield to block me in case I go berserk and Sukuna overtakes my body, but luckily I managed to eat all 3 without a problem and increased my cursed spirit power. The meteorite ability is actually so awesome I had to do it again. The explosion it creates is just really powerful and I'm pretty sure it one-shots anything underneath. But we then decided to trade our swords as I wanted to see how to propel myself and fly in the air like he did. And it was awesome as it allowed me to cover a lot more ground now. traveling through the night, I also came across some little guy that out of nowhere killed one of the Jujutsu Sorcerers, so I had to teach him a lesson. And then we found a shipwreck, which was actually pretty cool. I wish we'd build a base somewhere close here, as incorporating it as like a storage facility with a tunnel underground would be an awesome plan. But I also learned a new skill, domain expansion skill, from one of the power-ups I got, and this one allowed me to trap me and my friend inside, which was really awesome. I now finally had a domain expansion ability. And checking out the water nearby, I accidentally killed all the fish here with my domain. And then I noticed that eating the 3 fingers not only increased my curse power, but I also learned a small new ability which allowed me to summon a cursed guardian, which looked like a massive house of horror. It had teeth and it did insane damage around itself and destroyed any blocks and mobs. We also tracked down another 2 special grade curses in a mountainous area across this river, so we made 2 paddle boats and started rowing there. And climbing up the mountain, it was pretty easy with the jump boost ability I had, but once at the top I saw 2 weird looking guys. They looked like they were part of the Mahito's group of special grades, and they also looked strong. We never took on 2 special grades at a time, but it was time to test out our strength. As I began fighting it, there were massive explosions. My friend summoned his guardian to help in the fight as well, and I didn't see the second special grade join the fight, so I guess he was giving us a chance at winning, but that was his mistake, as we managed to boot down the first special grade easily, and also I got promoted to a semi-first grade sorcerer. I was nearly at the top. These special grades gave a lot of power, so hunting them was really good for powering up. But once we got both of them down, one of them dropped a cursed spirit manipulation technique, and it allowed me to use his abilities. But I thought that I had enough already, so I gave my friend this one, even though it looked super cool. And the special grade also dropped another Sukuna finger. They tasted really badly, but I still ate them, and I regained more and more power. This was my 5th finger down now. But as it was getting late again, we decided to drop down to another camp nearby on the cliffs and spend the night here. And the next morning we saw another special grade. He was right beside our camp, so I unleashed all of my abilities at him. The fight was super long and he had a lot of health, but eventually I managed to defeat him. Mahito is sending his strong special grade friends now that we have 5 Sukuna fingers collected. But exploring further, we managed to come into a deep forest. The trees were tall, but what caught my eye was we saw a Hanami. He was standing there like he knew we were coming. I didn't want to lose our surprise attack and charged in, unleashing my deadly guardian curse at him, but he was really strong, the strongest curse we fought yet, and it took a lot of tries to bring him down.
You hit him. Oh, that's so sweet, dude. One more. Oh, let's go, baby, let's go. Okay, power up time. I've got this. Swing attack, fire attack, let's go. He's so low, dude, he's so low. He must be so nearly dead.
But as we did, he dropped his abilities and also 4 Sukuna fingers, which was insane. Before eating them, my friend boarded himself up with obsidian in case I go berserk with Sukuna's power, but in the end it was all good and I gained even more strength because of them. We also went into a village nearby and we found a girl named Tsukumo Yuki, who when we spoke to made us learn the basic domain skill, which was pretty cool. And then we decided to turn back and head back to the base. We destroyed Hanami and got 4 fingers from him. So with this many Sukuna fingers in our possession, we now only needed to wait until the evil guys threw even more special grades at us. And that is exactly what happened. Beside our base, when we got back, we saw a Dagon. It was a weird looking blocky mob and he had an insane amount of health. Using my abilities to bring him down, he transformed into a powered up version of himself, probably showing his final form. But it wasn't long until we defeated him as well. After all, we had a lot of fingers already and we were really strong. He felt like a final boss. And then we finally hit 100 days. If you guys made it this far into the video, then go ahead and subscribe. We will be releasing a 200 days part 2 video where we finally face off against Mahito. So be sure not to miss it when we do release it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.